Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the first two episodes of season 2 of The Bad Batch, and basically just going to give my opinion and theories for the show going forward. So we start off with a Pirates of the Caribbean style scene with Echo, Hunter and Wrecker running from a group of crab-like creatures. Their mission was to be executed with stealth, but obviously Wrecker being Wrecker, he didn't get the message. We also get to see Omega, who has grown up, and not just in age but in knowledge as well, with the squad quizzing her with Empire ships. And also her bow skills have improved a lot with her assisting the squad when they're making it back to the ship. They bring their loot back to Sid, where they meet Phee Genoa, who's the best pirate Sid knows. Wrecker helps her with the cargo they got from the mission, and they part ways. Phee was there to give Sid info about the squad's biggest potential score yet. They've been told that Castle Cenero, or Count Dooku's old castle, is being scrapped, and all the former Jedi or Sith Lords' belongings are being taken away by the Empire. But there is a window for the squad to steal a war chest, which is pretty much shiny stuff or heavy stuff according to Echo. The squad vote that they are going to take on the mission so they can be free and rich. But before they part, if they pull off this heist, Echo actually wants to do more, and he doesn't want to hide from the Empire because obviously the Empire isn't getting smaller during this age, it's obviously growing day by day. The squad land on the planet and find the main city destroyed, a lot like what happened with Kamino during season 1. They make a plan where Echo, Tech, Wrecker and Omega go to the cargo loading area and try find valuables, while Hunter has a diversion planned, which was pretty much to blow up Empire ships. While searching for the chest, Wrecker takes out a trooper, which leads to the clones knowing something's taking place, which leads to the main clone in charge, who's actually Captain Wilco. He orders the last cargo ship to take off with half the squad still inside. Hunter and Wrecker attempt to save them, but are forced to jump from the rising ship and onto Dooku's castle, which actually led into my favourite part of the episode. We got a standoff with Hunter and Wrecker against the clones inside Dooku's old quarters. They managed to escape through Dooku's old elevator, but the others weren't out of trouble yet. They began to make their way through the cargo ship looking for an escape pod, but they're stopped and forced back by the clones, which led to the remaining escape pods being shot out from the ship, leaving the squad with no real way of escaping, only really with taking over the whole ship. But with Omega's studies of Imperial ships, she knows that cargo containers have built-in thrusters, but they have a very small window because they don't actually work unless they're in the atmosphere. They managed to make it back and release all the cargo from the ship, which led to them hurling down onto the ground with the thrusters not actually working yet, and that was the end of the episode. I thought the episode as a whole was great, a lot of action for the first one, which is always good, and we got to see Dooku's old home again, which was really cool. And yeah guys, that was episode 1 concluded, so now for episode 2. We continue on with the squad still inside the container, but finally the thrusters actually work. But as Tech says, they've no way of controlling it and not knowing where they're going to actually land. We meet back with Hunter and Wrecker still in Dooku's chambers, but they have a plan to ascend down Dooku's castle and go through the ruined valley. The rest make their odd landing, but unknowing to them they're actually dangling off a cliff, which eventually does tip, resulting in Tech fracturing his leg with exactly 150 kilos of force. Even when he's hurt, he's still accurate. We're met back with the clones who are operating the cargo, and we are given the name of the clone in charge, Captain Wilco. And we also know that Wrecker and Hunter are going through the city, and they actually set up a perimeter to try find the two clones. Echo, Tech and Omega make it from the container without the chests, but they've found something else. They've been followed by a man called Romar, who is actually a citizen of the planet, and they're now following him to his hideout. Captain Wilco orders all 50 containers that actually fell from the cargo ship to be manned and found, and with the perimeter secured, they can now box in Hunter and Wrecker, but they also have a plan of using old Separatist tanks to even the odds. The rest make it back to Romar's hideout, where he says Dooku didn't just steal from other planets to fund his war, he also stole from his own people, and he is the reason the planet turned out how it did. But the man didn't want any of the chests back, saying that they were cursed chests, and he wanted the Empire to take them, the sooner the better, and then they would leave. And during this time you can actually see how badly the people wanted to live in just peace and not live in fear. The old Separatist tanks actually end up being duds for the two and actually made them compromised, and the clones closed in. While that was going on, Tech and Echo began to argue over funds and not finding the war chest, and Echo once again saying that they're not doing enough while the Empire grows and leaves to look for patrols. While Tech helps out Romar with an old Cenarian machine, and it looked like Omega was sorting out a plan. The clones closed in, but Wrecker actually made a handheld tank from a broken one and destroyed their air support and drove the clones back. Omega's plan was to use a rope to go back down for the war chest while Echo returns and him and Tech go after her before the Empire finds her. Echo makes it in time but falls down with the Empire destroying the rope with no way back up. Tech gets pinned down, but Hunter and Wrecker are on their way but have 3 ships on their tail. Tech manages to fend off the clones but collapses afterwards, and Echo and Omega try make their way back up the container, but she loses the chest's valuables. But she wanted to retrieve them so badly because she heard Echo and Hunter saying they didn't have a normal life because of her, and she wanted to get the war chest so they could have the funds to have a free life and have a normal life that they wanted. Echo manages to get through to Omega saying to leave it behind, and they just make it out alive before the container finally crashes down the cliff. Romar returns and helps out Tech and saves Echo and Omega with the use of a speeder, and just in time when Hunter arrives with the ship, and Romar gifts Omega the toy he showed her earlier on and told her to remember what he said. It's just a toy and it makes you happy. Basically saying it's not just money or chests you should worry about, and he leaves the squad with them flying off. Echo says to Omega back on the ship they made the right decision choosing to have a life with her in the squad, and saying he'd do it all again. We're then back with Captain Wilco and Officer Rampart, who makes his first appearance in Season 2, speaking about the mission, but Rampart is only there to tell Wilco to falsely report on the knowledge of Clone Force 99 being alive, because it would look bad on him because he was the one to clarify their death. But Wilco is a proud captain and refuses, resulting in Rampart actually killing him with no evidence of the death, and now no more evidence of Clone Force 99, which is a huge deal, but coming from the Empire it's not really a surprise, but I feel like Rampart will get what's coming to him during the show. And yeah guys, that's episode 2 concluded, which has ended on a surprise, but so far the show is great and we're getting to see new characters and the squad story evolving into something very exciting, and I'm actually very excited to see more. I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe on the video, and put some comments below on what you thought of the episodes and what you think will happen next. Enjoy the rest of your day guys, and take care.